approval of the minutes.
September 5th, 2017. The regular monthly meeting of the Franklin Town Board was called to order at 7:30 PM by Supervisor Jeff Taggart. Present were Jeff Taggart, Garrett Sitz, David Grant, Donnie Smith, Dwight Bruno, Mark Lang, and Paul Warner. The minutes were read from the August 1st, 2017 meeting. David Grant made a motion to accept the minutes as read. Donnie Smith seconded the motion, and all agreed. Dave Tuthill gave the report for the Kellogg Franklin Trust. He offered to have the December 5th, 2017 monthly town board meeting at the Kellogg Educational Community Center?
Yes.
I got it, okay, at 7:30. Oh, just a brief bit. Dwight Bruno made the motion to move the December meeting to Kellogg, and Donnie Smith seconded the motion, and all agreed. The Highway Department will be fixing holes on Church Street. Paving is scheduled for September 11th. They're waiting for the gravel to get started. The real estate agent is asking for BB Road to be made into a year-round road. People on Rich Road are asking that the road be shut down to through traffic during construction of the traffic circle. The road may not be closed. The town is still waiting to hear from New York State about FEMA monies for the March snowstorm. A resolution to vote for the coalition of watershed board members was made by Garrett Sitz. The town board is voting for Mike Tuthill, Art Merrill, and Wayne Gladstone for the board. The town vote for alternates is Pat Davis, Tom Hilson, and Janet Champlin. David Grant seconded the motion, and all agreed. Don Hubbard asked about the community shared solar program. The first action is completed, and the checks should arrive soon. If the town could get the grant money, it will be used to build new town office building. Verizon is starting work on the tower next to the town shed. With nothing further to come before the board, Garrett Sitz made a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:20. David Grant seconded the motion, and all agreed.
Any additions or corrections? We have a motion.
So moved.
Motion to accept minutes. Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you. Well, Dave, I guess you'll have the floor first. You normally do.
I have to do it that way. I gave the board some copies of the Kellogg Trust report. First, just the finance summary for this month as of October 2nd. The managed account was $981,726, and the checking account was $26,800. Ongoing projects, the Little League field upgrade, they're actually starting work tomorrow morning, I've been told. The committee, the trust board tabled the pavilion decision until spring of 2018 because we want more time to get a review of all the estimates equally. And if financially feasible, preference will be given to local contractors. The Kellogg Education and Community Center, I have some of these with me tonight. There's a list of events. There's an ongoing community cafe. There's two more dates they're going to be doing that, Saturday the 14th and the 22nd of October. There's some free movies and popcorn nights that are on October and November. If anybody wants one of these, I'll pass them around. Our wish list for the spring is going to include a youth soccer field and a nature trail. November will be the last meeting of the season for the trust board. Monthly meetings will resume in the spring. Special meetings could be held as needed during the winter. The annual member election will be Tuesday, November 14th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Kellogg Educational Community Center. This is to fill a seat currently held by Deb Tuthill. It's a 5-year term, by the way. Official public details will be posted in the Walton Reporter in the local community as possible. Petitions are available from Lisa Hike, Trust Board Secretary, and I'm going to leave one with Dawn for the Town Clerk's Office. If anybody has any questions, you can ask me about that. And the Kellogg Educational Community Center is looking forward to hosting the Town Board meeting on December 5th. Respectfully submitted, Dave Tuthill, Kellogg Trust.
Okay. Dave, on your events for the cafe, one's at 14th and 22nd, so it's going to be
there's Saturdays,
Saturday and
lunches.
Well, they both aren't Saturdays.
Fridays.
21st?
Ooh, yeah, that should say the 21st. Yep, that's a mistake.
I
Sorry.
know it was 8 days, so I thought.
No, yes, that's
Thank
you.
We're changing the. Okay.
Yep.
So
Sorry
they're both Saturdays.
14th and 21st. That should say.
Both Saturdays.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, good. And could you, when you do your finance summary, break it down to what, you know, the monthly increase is?
Sure.
Just so it shows that how much you're growing each month.
Yep.
I always like to see that, you know, 2,000 and 2,200, you know, the growth,
Okay.
instead of just the final
Sure.
figure.
I can tell you the managed investment was up to about 8,000, and the interest check was $2,400.
Mhm.
That was this month.
I know, it's still growing,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
didn't put
good.
that in yet.
Just, I mean, that would
Sure.
just give us some figures to look at. Okay?
7.1% for the year so far.
That's awesome. Any questions, anybody else got a question for Dave?
Yeah, Dave, you mentioned, I think it was to Dwight and I, about possibly hosting all the Treadwell meetings. Did you mention that to them? Do you think that's possible?
I'm sure the Kellogg Center is fine with it, so if that, you can decide after you meet there the first time if that's what you want to continue to do, if it works out. I just wanted to make sure you met there once first before you
Sure.
guys decided. You said, oh, we don't want to meet there.
Okay.
I think it'll work. Yes, on our
Where
end,
the
I think
parking's nicer and,
yeah, you've got the big circle and you've got the big lot if you needed it.
oh, right,
Right.
right. All right, thanks, Dave.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else for Dave? And we'll go on to Mr. Allman from Delaware Engineering. We've heard rumor that we're looking to build a town office building.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Dave Ullman with Delaware Engineering. I live up on Cleveland Hill Road, next to Jeff and above Gary Arndt. Been there.
Don't hold that against them.
Yeah, I've been there for about 20 years. And Delaware Engineering, you know, most of you know Jim Swaza, who founded the firm back in the 80s. Jim and Kathy have since retired. So now I'm one of the owners. There's two other owners out of Albany. And we maintain our presence here just like we always have. So we were the ones that built this original highway garage. So, and you know, we've got a number of people that are Delaware County residents, myself included. So we're really grateful for, you know, to be considered to work with you on the project. I always come to a meeting with a handout, and tonight this is no exception. I like to leave a little something. At the end of the day, we know that you want to do a new building, and what I've heard is you want to do basically town court. And maybe beyond that, I'm not sure what you want to put in the building.
Town clerk,
Okay.
Code enforcement officer, hospital assessor, and,
That's all easy. We don't have to have all the
Yeah.
answers tonight. But at the end of the
even
day,
possibly
yeah.
the, bookkeeping.
bookkeeper, yeah. And in essence, if you do a town court, which you probably already know, there's some requirements to do that,
Right.
but it's not daunting, and we've done it before. And I included as an attachment just some of the items that they do ask for. But their recommendations and guidelines, they're not as though they're written in stone. So in essence, you put together a plan, you submit it to Unified Court, you get their feedback, you work with them to give them what you need, and you go from there. So it's a relatively straightforward process. From the sites, I understand right now you're looking at this site because we own the property.
That would be the ideal, in my opinion, ideal spot.
And we can you know move forward with however that wants to be. We've got experience. We've worked in Norwich. Town of Plymouth was real similar to this, and that was done finished in 2012. We're currently working on two in Schoharie County, in conjunction with larger, basically everything, all-in-one facilities, DPW, town hall, and the court system. So those are the things that are going right now. From a funding standpoint, you do have the JCAP program, which is out there, and there's also if we are going to incorporate some of the town clerk and the archives, there's some money there. And there may be some other money in some other programs. We just started looking at this a few days ago.
Right.
But I think that the good news is that there's things out there to do.
Right.
I've included in your packet just a couple of stuff which you probably already know. We just put a tax map on the area so you can see who our neighbors are. But we've got a site here of about 3.6 acres. We got the ponds in the middle, but it seems likely that we can accommodate the building in this area. Typically, if it's a town Town court and a couple other buildings, it's somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 square feet is about where they normally end up.
Right.
So we've got, that's a 40 by 40 or in that range, right?
Right.
1,600 in that zone.
Yeah.
And the last thing in your handout was just the layout from the town of Plymouth courtroom. And that actually that's where we integrated the town clerk's office, supervisor, assessor, probably real similar to what you're wanting to do here. And then that was an add-on to the existing fire station that was up there.
Oh,
So this is the adjoiner. I think this was about 1,600 square feet. So this gives us some ideas. And more than anything, I brought this tonight so people can start generating some circles and squares, right? I mean, we'll work with you to try to come up with a plan and a plan forward.
I'm good, Dave. Well, we thank you very much.
Yep.
And as rumors circulate, we got together. How's that?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Well, we thank you for your interest in it. We'll keep in touch, keep going forward. So we thank you very much. Anybody got questions for Dave?
Just if you have any additional handouts.
I may have a couple more.
Okay.
Looks like I've got 3. Justice Court Assistance Program.
Somebody else?
Thank you very much, Dave.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And we will be in touch.
Great. Thanks.
We've got a agreement with New York City Watershed that has been proposed, which we've done in the past. It's agreement between the Catskill Watershed Corporation and the town of Franklin for the reimbursement of funds under the Land Acquisition Local Consultation Program. And we've got a resolution in front of us to, I can read that, we can read that, whatever, for the board to look at and pass, and then I can take it to a notary and have it, sign it, as long as the board passes it. Want to read it, Don, to see?
Sure.
Oh, good.
Authorization for execution of local consultation on land acquisition contract with the Catskill Watershed Corporation. Whereas the town of blank is a signatory to the 1997 New York City Watershed Memorandum of Agreement, Watershed MOA, and whereas under paragraph 148 of the Watershed MOA, the Catskill Watershed Corporation administers the local consultation on land acquisition program, which provides reimbursement for costs actually incurred by a town or village to review, assess, and comment on submissions provided by the New York City DEP regarding lands or conservation easements in the town or village which New York City DEP seeks to acquire under its land acquisition program. And whereas pursuant to the 2008 filtration avoidance determination, the maximum amount of reimbursement under the local consultation on land acquisition program for eligible costs was increased to up to $30,000 for each watershed town and village. And whereas the town of Franklin has reviewed the proposed contract between the town and the CWC for the local consultation of land acquisition program. Now therefore, the Franklin Town Board authorizes the supervisor to execute the local consultation on land acquisition program contract with CWC and to submit invoices to CWC from time to time as the town incurs expenses which may be eligible for reimbursement under the contract.
A lot of contracts here. Any questions? Does the board have any questions?
This is just reimbursement of stuff that they expect us to do, correct?
yes, or what they've, what they've actually probably gotta go ahead and do anyway.
Right.
I mean, it's just, I think we've had the agreement before, this is just another, they're holding, well, I understand they're holding some money that they owe the town until they get this written contract.
That they owe the town?
They owe the money, through some, they've been buying land, or not so much a Catskill Watershed Corporation has been buying it, but the city has, and they've been overseeing it.
So that was purchased on a prior agreement?
It was purchased actually under this, I've had this, it's my mess up. I've had this agreement in front, at home from the planning department for a few months. And it fell in my lap again, so I thought we ought to act on it before
I
I
mean,
lose it again.
We've had these agreements before.
We've had the agreements before, yeah. And it's just, common through the whole watershed, the towns, get reimbursed some. But, so, do we have a motion to accept the resolution?
I'll make a motion.
We have a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay. We'll get it filled in and get it notarized and go from there. And we got more information on the charging stations. Patty got it from Paul DeAndrea and Mark Schneider. Does he work for the Delaware County
Mark
Electric
Schneider,
Co-op?
yeah.
Okay,
He's
I thought probably, and also joined by Paul DeAndrea, which most of us know Paul anyway. For the parking lines, what the specs are, and if anybody wants to see this, they're more than welcome to look at it too. Patty, okay? About the, and payments, it just describes, the payment by credit card. And that's been, a concern, I'm not.
It's actually a special card, like designed for the purpose of paying an electric car charging
Oh, really?
station.
Oh, okay.
Managed by specific companies, operates like a fob, like
Charge.
a David at the machine.
Okay, see, the Delaware Electric Co-op uses ChargePoint cards. And then it says they're similar to MasterCard.
Where does it get metered through?
Looks like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Look,
It gets metered through their meter,
So they have their own meter on the charger?
yes.
So they've got their own billing is what it come down to.
So the way their program is operating is it's through a NYSERDA grant. So the people who are using the car charging station, while they're waiving their fob at it, their ChargePoint fob at it, they're not being charged. The electric co-op is paying for the money and then they're charging it back to NYSERDA and being reimbursed for that because it's kind of a study to see how many cars growth over the 4 years when they're 1.5 years into the 4-year cycle, to see the frequency and volume of use of the station.
So the station though itself has a meter, correct?
It's the same meter that DCEC uses, it's not a separate meter, and that was described purpose-wise. There's a choice, you can get a new meter or a separate meter specifically for it, but that would come with its own additional monthly service charges, so it would actually be more expensive to have a separate meter. The machine itself tracks the kilowatt hours that are used or drawn for the purpose of charging.
And that's what's read.
Yes,
And then it'll be deducted off the meter of the existing structure, correct?
yes.
I was really surprised it takes a 100-amp breaker for these charging stations.
I have one in my garage, it's 20 amp,
Oh, okay.
But that's a great.
but it takes a lot longer to charge this.
No,
This is a fast
240
charging
miles.
station that
Right.
they have versus the home model.
Right. Is this proposal to be like a home charging station?
No, this is kind of tied to the Clean Energy Community initiative that's been discussed over the past few months for the,
I'm a little confused as to where the charging station would be. Would it be at somebody's house, or at the local gas station, or what?
It could, at a business, at a local business is where
At a
most of
local
these funding
business.
programs, businesses or organizations.
What the specs are.
Who would be responsible to maintain it if there was an issue?
The people signing on, I mean, part of it depends on the funding. You know, if it's a specific partnership between the municipality and that organization, or if it's a matter of the municipality supporting it in terms of, you know, passing a resolution that we support this, and it's the whole sole responsibility of the business organization that's actually operating it.
So the town has no responsibility?
Correct. And that's my understanding of how it works through the clean energy community.
Right, I think we can. Okay, do you have any vendors that would be interested? Or
I
any-
know of one, and locations, I know of one that's interested in exploring it, and that would be at the train museum.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much for your legwork, Patty.
Thanks for receiving it.
Okay. Mark, I guess we're. Yeah.
You're down there, the gravel's being processed right now, over 2,000 yards so far. And I'm gonna have him take it up to 6,000 yards, which will be approximately 24,000 bucks. It's about all the budget can stand right now. I wanna go back to that here in a second before we're done, but paving, as most people have seen, we did the Merrittville Road. The only thing that's gotta be done is we got a shoulder machine coming in, and we're gonna do the shoulders all the way up from 357 all the way back to Franklin Depot. And then we got a little bit of bridge work to do, a little bit of paving to do on them to touch up. Chip sealing, some of you have seen, we did that. That was Christian Hill, Grange Hall, Doug Hall, Church Street, Round Top, and Franklin Heights. Some of that was double surface, so that'll go through the chips. The rest will probably come out of the town funds. We had Nymer sent in their risk management person here last week. I met with them. I don't know if that was what this one of the reports was, but they're gonna come back in writing and ask for a couple things, and it was quite a bit more simple than what we had been through before. This guy was a little more reasonable about some of his requests. So when that comes back, we'll discuss that. Some of the stuff that we'll have to do, we'll have to come across from the board at that time. Paul's been working on paperwork for when we had the storm back in March. That looks right now it's going to be someplace in the $28,000 range coming back to us. We'll see how that goes. All the stuff that happened in Texas and Florida and Puerto Rico and those places, we might never see that. But, they keep telling us that we're gonna, but we'll see how that goes.
If we go to Texas or Florida, I just would not see it,
Yeah,
because we've already covered it.
yeah. So that was one of the things that a lot of the guys had to say, or a lot of the townships had to say. You know, it was basically, everybody looked at it as a big event, but I mean, we walked through it in 3 days, and the first day was a little bit on the tough side on people, but we didn't really use up all of our resources and stuff. We had a small breakdown that could have happened on a 2-inch storm, so.
Right.
So that, where we're at right now. We had talked about last month, I had brought up with a traffic circle going in, which I haven't seen any paperwork,
Right.
nothing. And it's kind of real quiet. I know some of the landowners up there have talked to some of the DOT people from the state, but one of the concerns was Rich Road, you know, being overcome with traffic. So Wayne Reynolds looked up the law and stuff. Basically, it cannot regulate the cars going up and down it, but the truck traffic will be able to do something with that. We'll be able to post it, but it can't be posted because of axle weight or any of that type of thing. And trying to get more information out of the law. He's working on a little bit more on the law too, so as time progresses and it looks like that's gonna go in, we'll do something about that. And then one of the other things that I wanted to bring up to the board, well, there's two things, is we had talked about the BB Road last week, or last month, and I really think that it's time that the DeMund Road and a section of the BB Road go up for a qualified abandonment. I don't think that there's really, the people that own the land up there don't really want us there.
No, that's beyond this,
Yeah.
right, where it hasn't had a thing done to it. And
Yep, where we've got it all widened out and taken care of, that's not a problem. I mean,
Right.
just like we did with a qualified abandonment.
Right.
So, you know, we did a public hearing and that type of thing, and, you know, the county would go in and look at it as, is there any undue necessary
hardships or whatever.
hardships to that. The one house that is out there, nobody's ever plowed to that. I've been here for going on 37 years, and nobody's ever plowed to it. The owner that has it now doesn't really care. In fact, he's actually been in my face a couple times about us being out there, even when we're just cleaning up storm damage. So there is no residence on there other than one, and it's not even a residence. He's there basically in the summer. And the access from the other end, where Sydney is never plowed that since I've been here. So
How far in that road does Sydney own? I mean, you know,
not very far.
not very far.
No.
Oh,
I don't have it in front of me, but it's not even, it's probably not much more than
not the meadow or anything, not the depth of the meadow that's under.
just about part of that meadow.
Just about that meadow. Okay.
Three-quarters of that meadow, and that's it. And
This is off of County Route 23.
yes,